Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Environmental Coffee House. I am Sandy Shallis, and I sound a little stuffed up still because I'm still recovering from the scourge of the planet, and it's a very difficult evening. A very, very wonderful person in our community, Reverend Michael Dowd, passed away Saturday. I just found out today. It was quite a shock. And I'm hoping that Jennifer and I can do a tribute show on Friday night. We had him as a guest. He's had Jennifer as a guest. He did an incredible post-doom series of conversations with everyone and anyone in the genre, and it's just very sad because Michael was young and he is needed. He will be deeply missed. So I prepared this show, and I'm going to do it. And I'm going to say hi to all of you. Let me get the chat up and see who's in there. Hi, Looney Tunes. I should make you a moderator, huh? Hi, T-Bone. Hello, Kim, my chief moderator. Hello, Pimpin' Ninja. Thank you. No, I don't grieve alone. We don't grieve alone. We're a lot of us are grieving. There's many people that are probably just finding out that are going to be quite shocked because it was quite unexpected. And he had just been in New York for his family. His father passed away. I mean, this is like so sad. It's just so sad. And I can't even imagine how Connie must be feeling and all of his close friends and his grandchildren. So, yeah. And Gazer, I did. I had it rough. Oh, well, I might as well just fix the, make them a little smaller. Yeah, I guess I had it rough. I would imagine that for me, I didn't, his name is Reverend Michael Dowd, and I'll have links to his stuff. In my community page on this page, he's got, I put up our best of with him. So anyway, yes, I was sick. This was the worst thing I've ever had. I've never been this sick. My whole body hurt. And, when you were all telling me I was sniffling and I was saying, Oh, come on. I have allergies. I have 6 cats. My house dusty, whatever. And then yeah, I was sick and the pain was terrible, but it never went in my lungs. So my lungs were good. It never went in my lungs. I'm still sick, but it's all congested up here. And Mucinex is my friend. So who else? Hi, Tommyist and Letterhack. It's really good to see you here. We do have good news too, and I'm going to tell you what the Letterhack is has set up for us. Has invited me. Hi, Melanie. Hi, Old Sage Joe. Sad Dingus. It's great, Kristen Rose, to see all of you. Mark Roche. Hi, guys. Really good. Tony, yes, it's really good. Dale Wover, thank you. Um, it's really good to see you all. But anyway, I know we're stunned, Lucia, stunned. What a loss in our community. If it wasn't for him, I don't think I would be as mentally healthy as I am about all of the things that are happening on the planet. A lot of us. And he did the best interviews with everybody who was everybody in the community. So we'll do this on Friday night. I'll do it with Jennifer on Friday night. So I guess I'll give you my good news. I'm going to be doing something a little, and I'll pull it up first to show you. It's different from what we're used to. All right. It's different for the channel. It's called Left Past 10, and I've been invited to be part of this, and I am very excited because, as you all know, I'm a big lefty. I always was. And I have been following these channels, and they're younger people, and they're wonderful young people, and it has really been good for my mental health to be with Matt, Matt is a comic book author, illustrator. He's an amazing person. His channel's called The Letter Hack. And so we'll be doing this on Wednesday nights with Andrea Rovinsky, Sandy Shellis, moi, and Jake, and I think it's Drogelis, Jake. I hope I didn't wreck your name. And Matt Strackbine, who is the brains behind the whole thing. And all of our channel names. And it's going to be different. And Matt is hosting it Wednesdays at 10 p.m. Eastern. And it starts on October 18th. So I'm pretty excited about this. It's a change for me. It's kind of back to my roots with people that it may not be all about politics, but I do think it's going to be wonderful and diverse and great conversation. If you like Sam Cedar and you like progressive people, then like David Feldman progressives, then you're going to love us and our conversations. And I hope you will watch. You can watch on any of our channels. I'm going to multi-stream it here like I did with the interview with Antonio. And if you saw, Matt interviewed Antonio and myself. And Matt's great. And he's very talented. He's really talented. So I'm thrilled to have been asked to be with these wonderful young people, younger than me quite. And it's just, it will make me feel alive a little more, In this sickness, I have felt like really, literally my body hurt so bad. I probably had a concurrent flare up of my autoimmune that I felt like literally this was what death must feel like. But I do all the good things. I take all the good things. I eat all the good things. And yeah, I put a crimp in my gardening and closing up my gardening and things for 2 weeks, but I've had my campers here who have helped out. And yesterday, the big furniture swap happened, and the the pallets are on the deck, and there's firewood up there because it got nipply and it's been chilly, and I don't want to be chilly, so I've had my wood stove going, and so okay, so there we go with all that. I have a movie and we're going to start with the movie. And hi, Global. It's great to see you two here. And we'll start with the movie. And then I have an article and we'll have a discussion. And it's not going to be a super long show because I just really don't feel great. I don't know. I tested positive still. I don't want to test, but I have a friend that wants to come over and see me, and I don't want to get her sick. These are the people that were so lovely and built me the covering for my firewood, and they're in their 70s. So, you have to be careful. You just have to be careful. All right, so let's get started with the movie.
Highways do more than move people. They can dictate where we live and change the size and shape of our cities. As much as half the land area in some cities is devoted to the care and convenience of the automobile. City streets become a crowded arena where cars and people compete for space. The beauty, speed, and efficiency of the modern automobile exemplify the energy of 20th century America, its energy and its problems. Are we sacrificing safety for speed? Are we building cities for people or for automobiles? Will the 21st century bring a new era of human freedom and mobility, or simply a world filled with autos and all that traffic? There are more automobiles in the United States than in all other countries of the world combined. The cars we drive have changed the life and face of our nation. The pervasive influence of the automobile can sometimes seem overwhelming. At the turn of a key, we unleash the power of a 3,000-pound machine capable of carrying us almost anywhere at speeds beyond a mile a minute. But we pay for this power and mobility. Electric cars like this sleek experimental racer could come to the rescue of city dwellers surrounded by the deafening roar and choking exhaust of internal combustion engines. Its battery-powered motor runs with a gentle hum, and its exhaust doesn't pollute the air. Detroit is working to reduce the pollution level of internal combustion engines, but by the 21st century, the electric car could make a comeback. This station wagon, built by Golton Industries and American Motors, demonstrates what modern battery technology can do. When you pump the brakes, the batteries get a brief boost. If the electric car comes back, it will probably be used for the short trips that make up most automobile travel: errands, shopping, and neighborhood visits. Instead of a weekly trip to the gas station, all you do is charge the batteries overnight when you get home by plugging them into a conventional electrical outlet. The cost per month, $15. Problems of noise and air pollution are reviving another antique automotive idea: the steam car. This hand-built roadster, owned by Thermokinetics Corporation, can cruise at 70 miles per hour.
Door up, please. 8.
Kerosene, with its low pollution exhaust, is used to fire the boiler. Water provides the steam drive in this prototype, but future steamers will use exotic liquids like Freon for faster, more reliable performance. Despite quiet operation and low pollution, steam and electricity face stiff competition from long-standing commitments to internal combustion power with its proven reliability. But one thing is certain: cleaner, more efficient automobile engines must come if the cities of the 21st century are to be livable. By the 21st century, a nationwide ERGS network could make printed road maps obsolete. If computers finally realize the old science fiction dream, the automated highway, human drivers will be the next to go. Cars can be beautiful machines. The cliche is true. There is a love affair between man and the automobile. But more automobiles are born each day than babies. Where the cars of tomorrow create cities that are a smooth-flowing network of high-speed transportation, or just one big parking lot. This is not only a question for the 21st century, it's a question for today.
All right. So there was my little compilation of Walter Cronkite and my added in things. And now we are going to look at a website I found. It's not the greatest, but it does tell the story. So we're going to go through the story. And I only am going to do one article. There, of course, the government has a whole history too, but I thought this was kind of all right, even though it's a little rudimentary, their website. But let's go for it. So the shocking story behind the rise and fall of electric cars in 1960s and 70s. And they go through the main topics. It's like kind of like a PowerPoint. But electric cars have been touted as the future of transportation for years. But did you know that they weren't actually a new concept? In fact, electric vehicles gained popularity in the 60s and 70s only to lose ground in the following decades. Now, when I found the 21st century clips, I was actually kind of surprised myself when I first read that. And I'm thinking, holy shit, I really didn't realize that there were battery cars in the 60s and 70s. So the rise during the 60s, the United States was going through a period of change. The oil crisis was starting to hit. People were becoming more conscious of the impact that fossil fuels were having on the environment. Electric cars seemed like the perfect solution to those problems. They were quiet, non-polluting, and they could be powered by renewable energy resources like wind and solar power. Well, I don't know about wind so much, but electric cars were popular among environmentalists, scientists, and forward-thinking politicians. Several companies began producing EVs, including General Motors, Ford, and Chrysler. The first modern car, the Heaney Kilowatt, was produced in 1959, and I had a picture of it, and I forgot to put it up in the pictures to show you. All right, so the 60s and 70s saw a significant increase in the number of electric cars being produced, which I didn't know. The fall of them. And this article, it's a little repetitive, but so what happened? There were several factors that contributed. The oil crisis ended with the end of the oil embargo in 74. The price of gasoline dropped significantly, making gasoline powered cars more affordable, reduced government subsidies. The government had been offering incentives for people to buy electric cars, but these subsidies were reduced in the late 70s. Improvements in gasoline technology. Gasoline-powered cars became more efficient and reliable in the 80s and 90s, and there was a lack of infrastructure. There were few places to charge, right? The cars. So it made it impractical to go long distance. And as a result, well, electric cars went the way of the extinction for a while there. And then there was the rebirth. And that was the reintroduction was because of concerns about climate change and rising oil prices. So here's some of the key developments. Battery technology improvements. Modern EVs can travel much farther now on a single charge than their predecessors. Infrastructure improvements. There are now many more charging stations available. Government incentives. Governments around the world are offering incentives for people to buy EVs. Environmental concerns. Many people are becoming more aware of the fact that fossil fuels, of the impact that they are having on the environment. So that's today. Now, electric cars are becoming increasingly popular around the world. In 2020, there were more than 10 million electric cars on the road, which we'll get into that discussion after this. The rise and fall of electric cars in the 60s and 70s was a fascinating period in automotive history. While these early EVs never achieved mainstream success, they did lay the groundwork for the current popularity of electric cars. So today, improvements in battery technology, infrastructure, and government incentives, like they said, it's a little repetitive, are making them practical. Unfortunately, from promising future to forgotten past, unfortunately, things didn't quite turn out as expected. Like, do they ever? By the 1980s, electric cars had fallen so far out of favor that they were almost entirely forgotten. So, well, what happened? In this article, we'll take a closer look at the rise and fall. The rise was aftermath of World War II. With gasoline shortages and rising prices, many Americans began to consider alternatives to traditional gas-powered vehicles, and I don't remember this. At the time, electric cars were seen as practical and affordable. Automakers responded to the trend by developing electric cars for everyday use. So I said already the Heaney kilowatt, and I'll see if I can pull that up, and the city car. They were small, affordable, easy to operate, and they were popular. People wanted a vehicle that was reliable, but didn't require a lot of maintenance. And as cities grew larger and population swelled, it became increasingly clear that gas-powered vehicles were contributing smog and other environmental issues. Environmental cars were seen as a way to reduce emissions and improve air quality. And what were the advantages? So low maintenance, zero emissions, quiet operation, affordability. And the fall. Despite their many advantages, electric cars eventually fell out of favor. There were several factors that contributed. Limited range, lack of charging infrastructure, low gasoline prices, lack of performance, because everybody liked to go really fast, and they still do. Ultimately, a combination of the factors led to the decline of the cars by the 80s. So, despite their past struggles, the future electric cars are, gaining a little more popularity. Spark and fizzle, the untold. The excitement surrounding the cars in the 60s was palpable. However, the industry was short-lived due to, again, they're saying the same thing, the lack of infrastructure, blah, blah. And then the birth of them, they had a 1966 General Motors had the Electrovair. And that was the Chevrolet Corvair fitted with an electric motor. It was a game changer for the automotive industry, and other automobile manufacturing companies soon followed suit. Ford introduced the Electrovan, and the Porsche 911 also had an electric version called the Panamera. Well, all good things come to an end, and the electric car industry of the 60s and 70s was, no exception. So short battery life, only 20 to 50 miles. It just, they weren't ready, right? All right. So I'm going to go here. How big oil, and this is, of course, what we know. How big oil and big auto buried the electric car. Despite the early start, however, the rise of big oil and big auto meant that the electric car was soon buried under layers of advertising, lobbying, and misinformation. In this article, we'll explore how big oil and big auto teamed up to kill the electric car and what we can learn from the early example of industry resistance to sustainable technology. So we've already done this. We went through 1800s. In the 1900s, electric cars were popular, especially in urban areas, and there was the trolley cars all over, which were electric, which were wonderful. And that was what my bio dad was interested in, and he wrote a book called The PCC Car, and I didn't even bring it in here. the rise in the 1920s, they were a time of tremendous growth for both the auto and oil industries. Companies like Ford and General Motors were producing cars at an unprecedented rate. And the oil industry was working hard to make sure gasoline remained the primary source for these vehicles. And I think that will get the environmental coffee house flush of the day. The oil companies making sure, there's the first flush anyway. So to this end, the oil companies engaged in a variety of tactics to push gasoline forward and keep electric cars in the background, funding anti-electric car advertising campaigns, paying off politicians to block electric car legislation, discrediting electric car technology through misinformation campaigns, and the efforts paid off. By the 1930s, the electric car had been largely relegated to niche applications like golf carts and forklifts. So then they came in the 60s and 70s, and we went through that already. But despite that, big oil and big auto once again teamed up to kill it. This time, their tactics included undermining electric car research and development, making it difficult for electric car companies to secure financing, and spreading misinformation about the safety and reliability of electric cars. So, again, nothing changes. Everything changes and nothing changes. And the efforts were successful, and by the 80s, the electric car, once again, it seemed like a lost cause. But, now they're going to talk about today with the electric cars are on the rise, and new advances in battery technology and a growing awareness of the need to reduce our reliance on fossil fuels. And I have a lot of friends that have Priuses, and I actually had one for a short time. In spite of it, the legacy of big oil and big auto still looms large. It's important that we continue to push for sustainable technology, even in the face of resistance from entrenched industries, and that we remain vigilant against efforts to discredit and undermine new technologies that have the potential to make the world a better, cleaner, and more sustainable place. Little hopium. All right, so now they called this a conspiracy, the shocking conspiracy, the rise and fall. So back in the 60s and 70s, I have itchy nose, sorry. There were several electric car models available, and the most was the General Motors EV1, which was introduced in, I think it was 1999. And this is where I think they get a little goofy on their writing. It had a range of 70 to 100 miles per charge and could reach a top speed of 80. But as quickly as electric cars became popular, they vanished. In 2003, GM announced that they would discontinue production of the EV1 and scrap all the remaining cars, citing lack of demand and unprofitability as a reason. Well, was that the case? Was lack of demand and unprofitability really the main reason behind the disappearance of electric cars? Well, according to they're saying conspiracy, the oil companies played a significant role. And the theory suggests that oil companies, fearing that electric cars would pose a threat to their business, used their political and economic influence to undermine the electric car industry and remove any competition they faced from electric-powered vehicles. Now, they say it seems far-fetched, but we all know better. I mean, we all know better. It's 100% what happened. So the key takeaway, they say they can't prove it. I bet if I dug and did the research, I could prove it. And they're finally making a comeback, but we have to remain vigilant, and we can't forget the lost era of electric cars of the 60s and 70s and the tragic story of their demise, right? Their demise. So really, the 60s and 70s saw a great interest in electric cars if people started searching for cleaner alternatives. Well, they forgot about that. Electric cars were popular among consumers who wanted to save money on gas and maintain them easily. OPEC crisis in the 70s led to an increase in oil prices, which made gas cars cheaper than electric cars, and the inefficient battery technology at the time was another major factor that led to the demise of electric cars. So today we continue to look for cleaner and more sustainable energy sources, and electric cars remain a promising avenue for reaching this goal. And that's it, folks. We're going to just mainly talk more about this, actually, because I'm not going to do a super long show, but I thought it was an interesting read, and I wanted to make a video that that introduced the topic. And really, we know, first of all, electric cars are not going to solve the climate crisis. And they bring up a whole other area, and it's called mining for white gold, which is lithium. And there's a lot of people that don't want that mining, and it destroys ecosystems in so many areas. So there's positives and negatives to everything. And but we're still going to see the production of everything. We will see it because, you can't stop growth. And even though you can't have an infinite growth on a finite planet, these people, the corporations who own at least the United States, they think you can. So let's see what you guys are saying in here. Let's look at some comments. Let's see. Gazer said EV's ideal for a local journey, but no, not so good on a long commute. Maybe alter the way we work would be better. Yeah. I think we all maybe don't need, I don't think we need cars. We need mass transit. But places like where I live, what's mass transit? Amish horse and buggies around here. I don't drive that much anymore anyway. So, let's see. Sodium ion batteries might be the replacement for lithium. Well, we're going to see all of this happen. And as if you watched my shows on Exxon and what they're doing, they're going to go through and they're going to implement all their carbon capture programs, and they're going to do everything they can to continue burning fossil fuels. But the car companies, they see the money in the future for electric cars. And quite frankly, if I could afford one, I would have one, but I don't. So, and I guess I'm not ready, I had bought this old Prius for my ex-husband to commute to work and back. He's so old school. He just couldn't understand. He just couldn't get that the goddamn thing didn't make noise. It was just a cluster mess. It was a mess. So we did not keep the car, but, you're right. They're delusional. The infinite growth paradigm will accelerate the collapse of ecosystems. We know this. Here. Hi, Jimmy. I rejected cars, TVs, corporate jobs in 2001 as a present to myself for surviving a near-death experience. I've been happy as fuck since then. Well, that's good. That's a really good thing. We're glad you're happy. Yes, we're glad you're happy. Reflect the Sun. Shell now owns Volta charging stations, many installed at malls and Safeways. See, it's all going to happen. And all of the activists that are out there trying to not get the mining, they're losing. And it's sad. It's sad. They're losing. Like out there in Nevada, they're going to just destroy ecosystems to get that lithium. China has battery charging stations you can switch out when it's low. It used to be free, but now they charge for it, but not a whole lot. And you do? Oh, that's cool. All right. Well, maybe if I ever can do it, I might. I would feel better about life if I had something that didn't burn gas. I'd love to see a poll about what people here drive, one, transit, compact car, etc. Well, maybe I'll put a poll up in the community section, and then it's a little, people can answer that. Does that sound good? Yeah. And lightning rod. There's a lithium deposit in an old volcano just off the highway that contains 14 million tons of easy, high quality lithium. We need about 1 million tons for all the cars you can shake a stick at. All right. So it's going to happen. We're going to go kicking and screaming, some of us, but it's going to happen. Let's just hope that we can not go, collapse everything, every ecosystem in the world. And, we've been seeing all of the extreme weather events, and we're seeing abrupt climate change or global warming happening. So, this could all just be a pipe dream, but they're going to go on anyway. And there's a lot of younger people that want to have something, and I'm not taking it away from you. I'm not. Okay, include no car in the poll. All right, I'll try to do that afterwards. You have a Jeep? Yeah, but it's probably what you can afford, right? I have a pickup truck. It's a Toyota 6-cylinder, and I drag a lot of shit on my property into the dump. And, when I got it, it wasn't just me that made the decision. I had a husband at the time, but I still have it. But I've had it a long time, and it's got 59,000 miles on it. That's all. So I don't really go anywhere. And doctor's appointments, but yeah. Hello. Wait. Here. Electric powered bicycles are just a couple of thousand, accessible to some. Yeah, in cities they're great. And actually I think bicycles in the world do outnumber cars. And that's Pink Barrio had a video on that today. I can't really talk about it because the science is new to me. I need to read the story about 5 times more to talk about it, but no carbon exhaust. Okay, we'll have to probably find more information. I wouldn't mind if we mined asteroid with bots and bringing up materials back to the earth instead of using up resources here. But as usual, we the poor wouldn't benefit unless leftists are in office. Yeah. Absolutely. Yes. All right. And hi, Scott. Thank you for moderating. And Jean, it's nice to see you here. Flying cars need no roads. The Jetsons. Do I have a picture? I thought I had a picture. I don't know if this is... Oh, no. This is not the one, but here. Has anyone tried unplugging the United States and plugging it back in again? It works for everything else. So I had to have something funny. And, all right. So pretty much I'm done. I didn't want to do a super long show. We're already going on whatever we are, 30, 40 minutes. And I have not, honestly, I've been feeling like total shit. So, all right, so here we go. Don't try driving across Wyoming in an EV. Well, unless you bring your own charger from another battery. Oh my. All right. Yeah. Simon Michaud. I had him as a guest, and he's done a lot of work on the minerals that it takes to do this. Yeah, absolutely. So my dogs are goth. It's great to see you. I saw, I don't know, you're talking to him, but yeah, I hope I'm feeling better soon too. But so I want you guys not to forget to Wednesday nights, I will be on with the letter hack, and I will be cross-posting the show here. It's going to be different, and it's not the Doomosphere, but I'm excited. I'm really excited. So I hope you guys are also for something different. All right? Yeah. Okay. So I want to say goodnight. Please like the the stream. Oh, good. Looney Tunes will be moderating. All right, sweetheart. That's great. I'm just extremely excited to be with younger people who are the future. And we are not. Or I am not. Yes. There was one more. Oh, yes, Richard Heinberg. Yeah, I've actually read his stuff on here. He used to have a fair amount of material about mineral depletion. Oh, there's a lot. I mean, I could have made this show very in depth, but I'm just not up to it. And then hearing about Michael, so that really hurt. It really hurt. All right, so you'll see us on Friday night. We love you. And I'm going to say good night. Thank you for coming. I really do. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you. Thank you so much.